December 4th, New York City, 6:44 in the morning. He walked toward the hotel entrance, unhurried. Nobody on the block noticed him. Nobody knew his name.
December 4th, 2024, New York City, 6:44 in the morning. Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, walked toward the entrance of the New York Hilton Midtown. He was attending an investor conference. He was shot twice, once in the leg, once in the back. He died on the sidewalk. The shooter walked away, into the crowd. Nobody stopped him. Nobody even knew what had happened. 3 days later, strangers began leaving flowers at the spot where Brian Thompson died. Not for the victim, for the shooter, whoever he was. That is the thing I keep returning to. Before anyone knew his name, before anyone knew why, the flowers came. You probably remember the next few days. The news cycle, the manhunt, and then it faded. But on September 8th, 2026, Luigi Mangione walks into a New York courtroom, and a jury will decide. Before they decide, I want you to sit with the question that the verdict will not answer. Not whether he pulled the trigger. He did. Not whether it was murder. It was. The question is what it means that a society made him into a hero, and whether that society includes you. Luigi Mangione was born in 1998 in Thompson, Maryland. His family was not struggling. His family was thriving. His grandparents built a real estate and healthcare empire. Country clubs, nursing homes, a radio station. The family was prominent in Baltimore for decades. He graduated valedictorian from the Gilman School, one of the most elite private schools in Maryland. He gave the graduation speech. He went to the University of Pennsylvania, engineering, dual degrees, graduated with honors. His Goodreads profile listed 280 books. He reviewed them carefully. He was thinking about ideas, constantly. By 2022, he was working as a data engineer in San Francisco. He was, by every visible measure, doing exactly what his background promised. Then his back gave out. He had spondylolisthesis, a spinal condition he'd had since childhood. A surfing accident in 2022 made it unbearable. He spent over a year in chronic pain. He wrote about it on Reddit. The brain fog, the isolation, the way chronic pain dismantles the person you thought you were. In July 2023, he had spinal fusion surgery. It worked. He recovered. He began traveling, Hawaii, Japan, hostels, surfing again. But something had changed. The people who knew him noticed. The version of him that came back from the surgery was quieter, more internal, harder to reach. In early 2024, he stopped responding to messages from friends and family. His grandmother tried to reach him. His cousins. Nothing. He wasn't in crisis. He wasn't asking for help. He was reading, writing, thinking. His family was worried enough to file a missing persons report in November 2024, 1 month before the shooting. In August 2024, he wrote in his notebook, "I finally feel confident about what I will do. The details are coming together, and I don't feel any doubt about whether it's right." He wasn't writing about a person. He was writing about a target. He wrote that the U.S. healthcare system was the world's most expensive and ranked 42nd in life expectancy. He studied other attacks. He rejected bombs. He wrote they commit an atrocity whose horror outweighs their message. He wanted his message to be clear. In October 2024, he wrote about the UnitedHealthcare Investor Conference in New York. He called it a true windfall. He wrote, "The message becomes self-evident." He researched. He planned. He followed his target for days before December 4th. This was not rage. This was a project. Now I need to tell you what he knew, because what he knew is not in dispute. UnitedHealthcare denied 33% of all claims in 2023. The industry average was 16%. They denied twice as many claims as anyone else. Brian Thompson earned approximately $10 million a year. The year he died, UnitedHealthcare reported $22 billion in profit. Americans spend more on healthcare per person than any other nation on Earth. The United States ranks 42nd in life expectancy. He knew these numbers. He cited them. He also wrote, "Many have illuminated the corruption and greed decades ago, and the problems simply remain." It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. The words on the bullet casings, delay, deny, defend, are not from a manifesto. They're from a book published in 2010, a book about insurance industry tactics, written by a law professor. Luigi Mangione didn't invent the accusation. He engraved it onto ammunition and left it on a New York sidewalk. December 4th, 2024. He had been in New York for several days. He knew Thompson's schedule. He waited. At 6:44 a.m., Thompson exited onto the sidewalk. He was shot from behind. He never saw it coming. Mangione walked north, then disappeared into Central Park. The gun was suppressed. No one nearby understood what had happened. By the time police understood what they were looking for, he was gone. The FBI released a surveillance image. A man in a mask, backpack, walking calmly. The image went viral. So did the speculation. People began identifying him online before police did. His face, once the mask came off at a hostel, matched a name within hours. For 5 days, he moved through the Northeast. Hostels, buses, eating alone. He left a trail he either didn't bother hiding or didn't care about. On December 9th, a McDonald's employee in Altoona, Pennsylvania recognized him, called police. He was sitting at a corner table eating. He didn't run. Officers approached. He was calm. He asked if he was being arrested. In his backpack, the red notebook, a fake ID, the gun, and a written note explaining what he'd done and why. His mugshot circulated within hours. People noticed he didn't look like what they expected. He was 26 years old. He was brought to New York in an orange jumpsuit, surrounded by dozens of armed officers. He walked calmly. He looked at no one. Hashtag Free Luigi was shared more than 50,000 times in the first 48 hours. Merchandise appeared online before it was taken down. Protests outside his court appearances. Supporters held signs. In cities across the world, his name appeared in graffiti. A poll found that 27% of Americans were sympathetic to him. Among people under 30, higher. Among college students asked to choose between him and Thompson, 45% chose him. I want to be careful here. Sympathy for a killer is not the same as endorsing murder, but it is telling us something. It is telling us that a very large number of people have sat in a waiting room, or opened a denial letter, or watched someone they love fight an insurance company, and felt something they didn't have a word for. He gave it a name. That's part of why the flowers came. Here is the thing I keep returning to. His family owns healthcare facilities. He grew up inside this system. He was not attacking something he didn't understand. He was attacking something he had watched from the inside. That makes his decision more unsettling, not less. He had more reason than most to defend this system. He chose not to. In his notebook, he drew a distinction. He wrote that bombs are terrorism because the horror overwhelms the message. He believed what he did was different, targeted. One person, the person at the top of the system he was indicting. He also wrote, "I do apologize for any strife or trauma, but it had to be done." I don't know if that line holds. I don't think it does, but I understand why he drew it. And I think you understand why he drew it too, even if you wish you didn't. Brian Thompson was 50 years old. He had a wife and 2 sons. He coached his kids' sports teams. People who knew him described him as decent. He was also the CEO of a company that denied 1 in 3 claims. He made $10 million a year while doing it. Both of those things are true. The verdict will only speak to one of them. Luigi Mangione has pleaded not guilty. His defense team has signaled a psychiatric angle, extreme emotional disturbance. The prosecution has the notebook. They have the gun. They have the planning. They will argue this was premeditated terrorism. The terrorism charge is contested. 2 charges carrying the death penalty were already dismissed by the judge. September 8th. That is when the jury takes over. That is when 12 people, not you, not the internet, not the protesters, decide. But here is what the verdict will not answer. Here is what no verdict ever answers. What do you do when the system that is supposed to protect you is also the system that is failing you, and the people running it are not breaking any laws? This is not a new question. Every generation produces someone who decides the answer is violence. Every generation is shocked when it happens. Luigi Mangione was not poor. He was not desperate. He was not denied coverage himself, at least not in any documented way. He made a choice based on what he believed about a system. He used data. He used logic. And he ended a man's life. I don't think he was right, but I think the problem he was pointing at is real. And I think the 27% of Americans who felt something when they heard his name, they were pointing at the same problem. The flowers are still the thing I can't get past. Someone had to decide to bring them. Had to think, this is the right thing to do. And then more people came, with their own flowers, their own notes, their own, whatever it was they felt. That is the story the verdict won't touch. The story of what it means that this happened now, in this country, at this moment. Luigi Mangione has not apologized. He has not expressed regret. He has said nothing in public since his arrest. His notebook said he felt no doubt, that it was justified, that the target checked every box. On September 8th, a jury will tell us what the law says about what he did. What it says about why he did it, that's a different question. One the law doesn't have a form for.